Stadia. Is it the perfect platform for multiplayer? Does it have a shot at VR? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, what's going on? Today I have a special guest with me talking, Daniel. Daniel, want to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Daniel. You can follow me at Daniel Bowie TV. I'm a film director and a producer, and we're here to talk Stadia.
Yeah, we got some thoughts that we've had. I think we've been thinking about these thoughts ever since we saw the first keynote when Google announced it, right?
Dude, it was nuts.
Yeah, and
the keynote was just, let's back up. The keynote was amazing.
Yeah, keynote was
one of the best keynotes I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I've never been on the edge of my seat like I was for that keynote. It was ridiculous. But yeah, so now here we are. What is it? Almost a year since the announcement, right?
Yep.
And we have Stadia. You have Pro. I have Pro. What are your thoughts so far on what you've been playing with Stadia? What do you think?
Dude, for what we have right now, I love it. It's dope. Like, simple as that. It's just really cool.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
Even with the little amount of like downsides to it right now, which are all like buggy. It's not like it's nothing you can't fix. It's worth it. Like there's nothing I can say otherwise besides it's dope.
Yeah.
Good job, Google.
What have you been using Stadia for? Like you have an Xbox also, right? How does it compare in terms of I guess flexibility and just like being able to play? How do you feel with that?
To start things off, I think that just playing on my Xbox, and then for instance, I play Call of Duty on my Xbox. Yeah. That's just one game that is not available for Stadia, which will be, I'm assuming, I hope. But it works very well. But I had a 60 gig update. Bro,
yo.
I did not having the two right now made me realize how much I hate updating and installing and waiting to play. I came home. I was ready. I was ready. My friends were like, "Get online, get on Xbox, ready." And I open it up, and then it's like, "Nope, you can't play for a couple hours."
Yo, I forget those days. Oh my goodness, because I had a PlayStation, and I remember going to school and then coming back and being like, "Oh, I can't wait to jump in some Destiny and just go for it." And I sit down, and it's like 67 gig update, approximately 4 hours, and I'm like,
"Yeah." No, I quickly I'm starting to realize the future. Like I'm streaming games is definitely the future.
Oh yeah.
It's easy it's right in front of you. It's right
and
there.
Thinking about it in terms of developers, it's like a development dream come true because everyone gets the patch instantly, and like you can do like updates and everyone gets it, and whatever bug was going on or whatever feature, everyone has it at the same time, which I think is incredible.
Dude, I 100% agree.
But yeah, now what are some of the positives you think of Stadia? Like what are some of the things that it does really, really well?
Some of the things that it does really, really well. I'm going to start with, I was really surprised how well the screen switching works. Really surprised. Like going from my computer to my television and from my television back to my computer, very swift, very quick. I was very surprised how easy it was to like set up the actual controller and the console, just plugging in a Chromecast and then linking it by hitting the codes and using your app. Like that was swift. I like that. Some pros off the top. I mean, I've spent $120 and I don't have to buy the next Xbox.
Yeah, for real.
You know, I have a 4K TV and I have a 4K Chromecast, and it allows me to do all that.
Yeah. And at this point in time, when we're having this talk show, the Stadia controller only works wirelessly with the Chromecast. There is evidence in app teardowns and stuff that the wireless controller is coming for all both mobile and in the Chrome browser. But at this point in time,
now, hold on, Chris, you can can't you like use other controllers?
You can.
Am I wrong?
You can. So that actually was one of my big benefits to one of my positives of Stadia. Just the other day, we were playing Trials Rising, that biking game, and I was sitting there playing it, and I was like, it would be so cool to play this with other people because you can play with up to 8 people locally. And I was like, I only got one Stadia controller, so I pulled out my PlayStation controller while my Stadia controller was hooked up, and it connected both, and even changed the button layouts for each one. Me and my friends played, and we played on a Stadia controller, Xbox controller, and PlayStation controller, all of us. So everyone was using their preferred controller, which is unheard of nowadays, which I thought was absolutely incredible.
I will say it's been a long time since like you can't really lug around a PlayStation or an Xbox. That is a downside. So like I had my friend come over, he brought over his Stadia controller, but we were playing 2 Stadia accounts on the same network. And that right there, while I had a friend on an Xbox,
Dang.
it all was working. I mean, we had 200 down,
Yeah, I was just
so
about to ask
that might help.
What your internet is.
We have 200 download, but I mean, we were comfortably streaming 4K. Like it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was like back in the day when we would system link and actually like hang out and play with our friends.
Yeah. The good old what is it? Couch local player multiplayer party things where everyone would bring their own system and you just have tables and TVs everywhere and you would just go for it and everyone's connected.
Those were the days.
For real.
Like,
and honestly, that is what I'm hoping Stadia is going to bring back, because like I feel like everyone younger than us doesn't know what it's like to be at a multiplayer local event thing, you know?
Yeah, you're
and
right.
they miss out on that yelling at each other when they lose, or even getting hit in the head by the nearest object of the opposite teammate, you know, when they lose and you just...
Dude, I've been hit with a bag of controllers before. It's
See, the only games I would play would be Minecraft locally. So if I took someone's diamonds, then I might have got hit, but nothing like a bag of controllers. Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. So, and also speaking about 4K, since we were talking about it, you were talking about being able to handle all those 4K streams.
It's beautiful.
Chrome has 4K now. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yep, it has 4K.
I had no idea.
And it looks incredible on my Retina MacBook Pro. Incredible. There's like a couple loop arounds that you need to do to make it detect, since the MacBook Pro doesn't have a full 4K display. Kind of got to trick Chrome to think that it's running on a 4K display, but incredible.
Yo, that's you gotta share that one.
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
future. I mean, it doesn't even matter because I have a 1080p computer display right now. So, but in the future, that's
for
great.
me, I don't even have a 4K TV, so like that was the first glimpse that I got of like, wow, this is 4K kind of thing. Even though it's not really true 4K, you know, it's higher than 1080p, which is normally what I play on. But now thinking about, we just talked about all the positives. What downsides have you experienced with Stadia so far?
Well, setting it up was although like the whole software end of things was easy. I feel like making sure like you had your router next to the controller, you know, you're right in the right proximity. If you're using the Chromecast on your television. Otherwise, I mean, if you plug it directly into your computer or your Mac or PC, like, back up. I have a laptop I've never once been able to play a video game on. Not once. The GPU would just like crap out. And the second I installed Chrome on there and ran flawlessly, full resolution.
Incredible. It's bringing new life to dead machines. Dude, it's insane.
It was awesome.
I just love playing on my phone. I mean, just picking it up. You know, my wife wants to watch TV. I grab my phone and boop, there it goes on my phone, and now she can have the TV back. That's great.
But okay, so back to some downsides. I would say that was my biggest one. Having to make. I bought a router so that because I'm downstairs, I'm away from my router, so I had to extend it. But if you figure that out, or if you're next to your router anyway, it doesn't even, like, most people's routers are next to the television anyway.
Yeah,
it's usually where the cable guy goes to hook it up. But if not, there's some workarounds. You gotta take the time to look it up.
Absolutely. And I feel like
what about you?
Normally with like any of them, I feel like it requires like some kind of like initial effort to get going, kind of thing. For me, I feel like, I've actually been thinking about this a lot, and for me at least, setup was perfect. I sat down mainly because I have a streaming rig, so I was already geared up, ready to go for internet as it was. I didn't have to do anything that you were doing because I already had hard lines. I was already running.
Yeah.
Everything was gigabit
Yeah.
already. I had the 5 gigahertz network. So for me, the initial setup wasn't that hard. It actually worked first time flawlessly. So for me, that no issues there. For me, I feel like the downsides came once I actually started using it with other people. And let me explain. When you would play online, like for me, I'm a big Destiny person, huge. I love Destiny. I'm on there all the time. I like to play.
I am now a Destiny fan thanks to
Oh,
Stadia.
it's amazing. I
Yeah.
love the Crucible. Crucible is by far my favorite thing in the whole world. And you meet so many people. Like, you're playing with a team and you guys are crushing it and you want to add each other before the match ends, right? So you add each other up and you put it in there. First thing that's a big downside, at least for me, that at least I'm used to because I came from a PC background and a PlayStation background. I don't think PlayStation has this, but PC definitely does. Is you could mark users for what games you found them. You made friends. Like a lot of times, I'll scroll through my list of friends and I'll be like, "Who the heck is this guy?" And it was some guy added in a match in Call of Duty or something. But like on my computer, I could mark like Call of Duty multiplayer, and so I would know like which friends play what games. And
Now, I don't think I've ever done
you
that.
haven't ever done that?
Nah. I mean, I play on Xbox, like, so I'm not a PC
Yeah.
guy. So that might be just be a PC
That may
thing.
be, and or maybe what I'm trying to get at is like a way to click on the user on the friends that you have and see what games they actually have. So you're not
Yeah.
trying to invite them to games they don't have. I know on PlayStation they had like you would be able to click their profile and see all the games that they play, and that is something I loved a whole lot. And so, like for me, is it a downside? Yes. Does it make it? It's just. It's like
No, there's too many
yeah,
positives.
too many
positives.
positives. It's
yeah,
like
too many.
stubbing your toe. It hurts and then it like goes away, But the second the thing that actually has a longer lasting pain, you're still dying about my toe stumping.
It's just an interesting analogy. Just had to make point of
That's
that.
Sonata just going for it. Something that's more lasting that I feel is a downside is chat. There is no typing chat. So it's hard to catch friends that you don't necessarily like. For example, on PlayStation, I would be able to make friends, right? And then send them a chat from my phone and be like, "Hey, are you guys going to be on tonight?" And they'd be able to chat me back. Like, sure. They're not even on it.
I feel like that has to come.
It has to. It has to.
Yeah, they're gonna add that. That's a no brainer.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time for all of that. I still feel like it's in a way it's almost still beta.
Absolutely, and that really.
I mean, it's the premiere edition, so that they have to have like a full edition later.
Yeah, and since you brought up beta, let's jump topic slightly. The launch.
Yeah.
The launch.
I'm still a little salty with you about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, okay. So we got to
hold on.
update people what actually happened.
Okay.
here. Go for it.
My man convinced me to get Stadia in the first place. We watched the keynote together. If anyone, like, we used to work together, so like we watched it and we watched it on our break and it was awesome. We were drooling over it. We all subscribed right there. Like, I mean, what was it? It was $1 pre-order, and so we were waiting for the full announcement to say when they're going to ship it and all that. And in that time frame,
so much shame right now.
in that time frame, I recall you calling me and convincing me that it was a bad idea because of some article or something you read, and then literally 2 weeks later, you call me and say you're getting it.
So a little bit of backstory. So we canceled our Founders Edition, all right? And they didn't sell the Founders Edition anymore, so we ordered Premier Editions.
So I went from having, like, my gamer tag is 0, but now it's 0 hashtag
Something,
whatever.
something.
Some random string of numbers.
Yo,
and all of my friends who have the Founders Edition just rub it in my face.
that sucks.
They're like, "Why did you cancel?" Which I beat myself. If Dan today could jump back and pass and say don't cancel, I would. So for anyone looking to get Stadia, get Stadia.
Yep,
Like,
it's worth it.
It's a no-brainer.
It's worth it. It's totally worth it. But I feel like the launch is what messed people up. All right, like the keynote was amazing, but like advertised it as like it's out. You know, when I think, and so when it actually came out, people were expecting a full feature filled platform when I think they should have
Yeah,
really
no.
hammered in like this is like a beta test, you know, a closed beta test kind of
It's
thing.
like Fortnite beta. When it first came out, it was really like they put it out to an audience just so they could start working on this technology. Like that's
Yeah.
all. And I mean, Epic Games grew so much alone from Fortnite version 1 to where it is now. You
Oh
know?
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think Google's taking a similar approach.
Oh yeah, and like, and if you think about anything that Google's made, it's always like this. Like they announce it small, and then they slowly expand it, and that's what we were seeing with the founder tags. If you were watching Reddit, following Reddit for the Stadia Reddit subreddit, people were freaking out that on day one they didn't get their tag, their code to get on. And really, Google was just slowly letting people in. And that was something they didn't really let people know that was going to happen. They just said, hey, it's coming out this day and you'll be able to play. And everybody was like, well, I'm sitting here and I was a day one. I bought it 2 seconds after the keynote and I still can't play, you know?
Actually, in fact, I got mine before yours, and I ordered it way later.
Yeah.
Way later.
Yep.
I mean, like, probably like it was an impulsive decision. I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get it. And I expedited it, and it came within a
Yeah,
week.
yours came like 3 or 4, probably actually 4 to 5 days before mine ever showed up. And I ordered mine like at least several days before you, if not a week. Because I think I told you, and you were like, nah, I'm not getting it. I'm going to wait. And then you text me like a week later, like, yo, it's coming tomorrow. That's kind of how it worked.
Yeah. Reddit did a good job convincing me to get it.
And here, I know this is not really in our talk show notes, but let's talk about all the negativity, okay? You search
gosh.
YouTube.
People hate to hate.
Oh my goodness.
People hate to hate, bro. People hate to hate. Do you remember the YouTube videos leading up to the launch? I'm starting to think that they were fake. Like, because all of the things that they were claiming and all these things that were messed up, I had no issues with.
Did you see that one where it was like the guy sitting in his office and he hit the space button and like stared at the camera and then his guy went boink like 2 seconds later? Did you see that one? The like review of Stadia. Click.
I believe it. Yeah.
Yo.
No, I mean, if you think about it though, it's threatening to an industry that's pretty saturated.
And
you know, like it's groundbreaking, bro. Like it's people love having the disc in their hand.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep, that is true.
And you're going from that to a click of a button. It's like Netflix in a way. But they're not trying to compare themselves to a Netflix.
No, because
for
it's not
games.
like you get this digital library of games that you can stream and you pay one monthly price for. No, it's not that.
Kind of.
Yes, if you're a pro.
Stadia Pro.
If you're a pro and you're
Stadia Pro,
and you're collecting all the free titles, which are absolutely incredible, by the way.
Which I need to, because I missed a month, and it was like the second Tomb Raider, something like that.
Yep.
They released it and I didn't claim it, and so now I missed it.
Like we got Grid this week on top of a couple other games. It's like incredible.
Grid looks so good. Oh my goodness.
I'm excited to play some Grid.
Yeah.
I haven't had time to do it, but I'm excited to do it.
Yeah, me too. I have been playing a lot of Destiny.
Yeah, see, that's
like, way more than I thought I ever would.
Yeah, Destiny's a solid game though, and really, I think that's where Stadia is excelling at, is that multiplayer kind of scope. And
dude, but hold on, if we're talking multiplayer, we need more players.
Oh yes. So let's actually just jump into multiplayer now. Let's just skip our notes and go straight to multiplayer. Let's talk about multiplayer.
Okay, because I want to tell you, like, Destiny is great, but the multiplayer takes too long for me.
It's
I hate in between sessions. I hate it.
And
Way
what
too
they
long.
either need to do, well, I know Google's starting to open up the umbrella a little bit. They're sending emails out to people that have that are subscribed to their promotional emails, and they're sending out codes so people can start getting in. Just to random people, like, here's the free access to it. For the free version or whatever, and that will help with getting more people on Stadia. But I think in Destiny's case, I think them having it closed platform, I don't know if it was an agreement with Google or whatever it was, but only multiplayer matching with Stadia users, I think they made a mistake. I think they should have made that cross-platform, like you're connecting with Xbox and PlayStation people.
I mean, but we don't really know the reason
We
why
don't.
they
We
didn't do
don't.
it. Yeah, it could be it could be a technical
It could be.
standpoint.
Absolutely. It could
yeah.
be. But then again, in their keynote, Google's keynote, they said that they fully support cross-platform gaming, and they designed it from the
Yeah,
ground up to
yeah.
do that. So
Yeah,
either
they did.
I don't think it's so much a technical issue. I think it's more of like a licensing issue, or maybe Bungie was like,
Like future games, maybe there was agreements that were set in the past by
Exactly.
other platforms. That makes
and maybe
sense.
Bungie
That
was
totally
like,
makes
well,
sense.
let me see how good, how popular Stadia will actually be. So we're going to do a test run and make it only Stadia. Like, you never know. You never know with gaming companies. But so talking about even further our multiplayer kind of conversation we got going on, do you think Stadia is the best platform for multiplayer? And if so, why? And if not, why not?
Right now, no. Right now, no. It's a clear no. But I think in the future, absolutely yes. And the only reason why is because the tech allows for more room for growth in that realm, in my opinion. I mean, they kind of like they sold us a dream on the keynote. Like, they were talking about just because everything's on their servers, they have abilities to connect between multiplayers and create larger maps and
Yeah.
having more people join. Like things that being on a console server base will not allow you. You know.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, I think in the future, in the not so long future, because I mean they even announced they're having exclusive games. So I have a gut feeling. This is just me being like a conspiracy. Like, I think that for sure those exclusive games will have some of those benefits that other consoles can't.
Yeah.
I have a good feeling about that.
I think so. And I also think like developers from other games are going to create exclusive features on Stadia because of the sheer power that
Yeah.
it can handle. Like, for example,
yeah.
like and we're not saying that it is coming yet. We don't know. We have no information. If Fortnite came to Stadia, okay, they might exclusively.
That's a must. That's a must.
Yeah,
they
would
have
have
to.
to. If they had
have to.
1,000 player maps, it may be only exclusive to Stadia. It may not be on
Exactly.
other consoles
Exactly.
or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you were even touching on because of their sheer compute power, we could have Call of Duty maps that are huge, absolutely incredibly huge.
Huge. And on that note too, it's like, I mean, everyone's waiting to see the sheer power of the Xbox and the PlayStation for the next generation. But the cool thing about Stadia is that they're going to announce it, and then with the click of a button, they could just update my account, and I'll have, instead of 13 teraflops or however many teraflops we have, they'll just make it 15. Just to be on
Just
top.
to be on top.
And yeah, and my hardware is now in the cloud, so it's not like I have to go and spend $500 more to go get a newer system.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. All the upgrades just happen, and without any time lost either. Like that's the other thing. We were just talking about the game updates are pretty much instant. Same for hardware. Click of a button.
No, what do you mean pretty much instant? It's the second the game turns on, my update is available.
Pretty much. Like, it installed. You never knew it even. Like,
Never did. Yeah.
and I think that's the thing that's
Dude,
confusing.
if Destiny alone, how many gigs is Destiny?
Yo,
Think about
Destiny
that.
Destiny will eat up
Like,
some space.
with all the expansion packs that you get, which is a crazy value in itself. So if you get Stadia Pro, you get Destiny for free. And I mean,
And all the
what
expansions.
Were you talking? Over $100? Over $100?
Over. Oh yeah,
Couple
it's
$100?
like 50. I think it's
Like,
like
how much-
$50 for the base game, and it's like $30 per expansion. And there's like
That's what I'm
there's
talking about.
There's
Yeah,
a
that's
lot.
crazy.
There's a lot of stuff there.
And then so for $9 a month, you get all of that, and you don't have to install it onto a hard drive or worry about managing your hard drive, deleting things, like none of that.
No, it's incredible. It's incredible, and that's the thing. Just like the software is instant, the hardware is just as instant. Upgrades like. I remember with my PC, like upgrading the hardware and then like putting in a new graphics card, and all the drivers crash because they don't recognize the new graphics card and yada yada. And like 4 hours
Bruh.
later, I finally get it to open a game, and it's like running at 10 frames a second because it's not optimized. Like all that, a pain when you just want to play.
dude, playing a AAA rated game graphics wise with zero fan blasting in your ear while you're you know what I mean? Like I could have my TV on and not hear a fan from my Xbox or not hear a fan from my computer. Like it's so great.
Yo, I remember when I would play PlayStation, I would have to turn off the heat because it would be like heating up the whole room just playing anything, you know? It was a little personal heater.
I wouldn't say it was that hot. It was a
Yo, I think there was a cooling issue with mine, okay? It was noisy and it was hot all the time. All the time. It was scary.
I'll respect that.
It was scary. Like, you get some smells every once in a while, and you're like,
That's not right.
no.
That's not
You know
right.
what? I think I'm burning something. So my second point that I have in our notes here is, as a benefit to Stadia's multiplayer, which I know you said at its current stage, it's not the best platform for multiplayer, which I can agree because there's not enough players.
There's not enough games and players.
Exactly, and that would be the reason why I would say.
So as a multiplayer platform, it's just not there.
Yeah, and I would say the same thing.
But we have 150 games coming this year. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Over 130, I think they said. Something like that.
Oh, sheesh. Well, bring them on because I need more games.
I'm
please.
excited.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you,
if you would claim your PlayStation, goodness, Stadia Pro games.
I missed 1 month. I missed 1 month, guys.
One whole. No, I don't know. We should compare lists, see what games you missed. But I think another win for online multiplayer with Stadia is no lag between players.
What do you mean?
Think about this. When you're playing on an Xbox, you always have that little second, when you would pull up the view to see all the people that are connected to your game or whatever, all the other players, and then they would have something that says ping, and it would show you ping numbers for each of them. Basically, that was their latency connecting to the game server. So like numerous times when I would play Destiny, is I would shoot somebody, I would hit them, and then they would like move because of latency. Stadia gets rid of all of that because your actual game is on the same server that the multiplayer game match is running. So there's no latency between other players. Maybe if your internet, like for example, if I was playing on my PlayStation or on my PC and connecting with someone in China, right? And playing with them and they have terrible internet, okay? Let's pretend they have horrible internet. My gameplay is impacted by their terrible internet because they're all choppy all over the place.
Yeah, I remember that.
Stadia,
like back in the Halo 2 days.
Yeah, but on Stadia, if their internet was bad, they would only experience it. Their player, from my perspective, would never lag because it's running on the same server that I'm connected. Their feed from Stadia
I didn't know
would
that.
maybe get fuzzy and not be like 4K, but everyone else on the team would not experience the lag that player's, which I think is amazing, especially like for games like Call of Duty where the split second really does matter. But yeah, that's my thoughts on lag. You got any thoughts on that? I know you don't really know much about that. This is probably your first time hearing about that.
No, that is the first time I've ever heard about that. I mean, I've always seen the ping numbers and all that, but I just never knew what it meant.
And that's why Stadia doesn't have it. That is why you don't see it. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Wow.
So let's move on from online multiplayer to local multiplayer. Do you think Stadia will bring back local multiplayer?
Yeah. Right?
I think so.
Absolutely. I mean, they have the Samurai Showdown.
Yep.
Like that's a two-player game right there. Yeah. And then, but here's the thing though, you can't buy controllers independently right now, right?
No, you can. Yep.
Since when?
Since launch day. Like you can buy the Wasabi controller, any of the colors.
Like the $69 controller by itself?
Yep, by itself.
So do you need the $120 package to get Stadia?
Currently, yes, because that comes with your Premier Edition, the closed beta, right? Once Stadia becomes free, no, you don't need that. In fact, I don't know if they'll even sell. Well, they might sell the Premier Edition still. It sounds like.
But they'll just sell the controllers and the Chromecast separately, and then if you have Chrome, Google, anything.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, cool.
Exactly. Like a lot of people on Reddit are ordering multiple controllers, just the controllers, so that way when they have those local games, everyone can wirelessly connect to the TV. In my case, I just plug the computer into the TV. I have a couple PlayStation controllers that I connect via Bluetooth. I use my Stadia controller, and we're good to go, kind of thing.
Cool.
And from at least for me, local multiplayer, I think that's one of the best ways to play multiplayer with video games. because I grew up on a Nintendo 64. No such thing as online. And I just remember the countless days and evenings that me, my brother, and sometimes my dad would all get on there, play some Donkey Kong.
Dude, yeah, I was about to say, what games would you play on
I'd play
N64?
Donkey Kong. We had this the Star Wars pod
Donkey
racing.
Kong, what, Country?
What was it? I think that was it. I think so. I can't
Was
remember.
it?
It was
People
so
are going
long.
to judge us
I
for
know.
not knowing
It was
this.
so long ago. So long ago. But we would play
We're
the.
sitting here talking about games and we can't even recall a classic N64 game.
We suck. But I remember playing like the pod racing game from Star Wars. What was that?
That's a great game.
Super Smash Brothers 64, classic. And like all that was local, sitting right next to each other. And that's the kind of gaming experience that I absolutely loved as when I was growing up.
Yeah, I do miss that a lot. I miss that so
And
much.
because like all these games are so high powered, like that disappeared in all of our latest console generations. Like
Yep. You couldn't have two. You couldn't have a split screen rendering two AAA. You couldn't have two player on
and
a
even if
AAA
a game did allow it, it would look absolutely terrible once you started splitting the screens up. You would lose the 60 FPS. It would start dropping. The graphics quality, all sorts of crazy stuff. And I think Stadia, with the power that it has, and even saying the keynote, they want to bring back local multiplayer and couch playing. And
Please.
I'm super, super hyped and excited for that, to be able to just walk over to my parents' house or something with just the controller and sit down and we just go for it, you know?
So just out of curiosity, any games that you're looking forward to on Stadia?
Any games I'm looking forward to? So Destiny was the big one that I was looking forward to, which came right off the bat. So I was like in second heaven right away.
Yeah, but I know you're ready for another good game.
I am ready for another good game. Honestly, I don't know what games. None of the games that have been announced have appealed to me quite yet. The only
Avengers. What about Avengers, bro?
maybe,
What?
maybe.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. So my brother works at GameStop and he went on they have like a big convention where they like test it out. One, it was really cool because the game had, you know how they show all the different consoles that are like on the cover, and it'll be like Xbox, PlayStation, and it said Stadia.
Yeah, doesn't it feel good when you see that? It's like,
yeah, that was really cool. But he said he loved it, and the gameplay was just phenomenal. So that's a game I'm looking forward to. I'm pretty sure Cyberpunk is coming out for Stadia.
I think so.
Am I right about that?
I think you're right.
Yeah, that's that game. I mean, there's so much hype behind that alone.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you'll see me on that. Anything else?
I kind of want to play that. Not saying that I'm not going to get Avengers. I most definitely will get Avengers. I don't know if it'll be my favorite game, but I'm actually looking at the Get Packed game that they advertised at the keynote.
You did.
Yeah, for some reason that like appeals to me.
I know, you're so strange. Dude, if you could do anything right now, is pull up the game like a.
Oh wow! You just broke your microphone. So as we take this the short commercial break.
Go, you can hear me now.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
I hit the mute button. mute by accident. Here we go.
That's incredible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah, it was just like there was no sound, and I was like, oh snap!
I just explode.
But yeah, anyway, looking forward to some of those games on Stadia. I'm hoping they announce the new Star Wars game that just came out for all consoles. I really want that to come to Stadia really badly.
Yeah.
That looks insanely good.
Okay, dude, okay, let's talk about, can we talk about the future a little bit of Stadia, a little bit more, like the future, like any ideas or direction you think Stadia
Yeah, let's
is
go.
going?
That was our next point, so let's dive into it.
My bad. I just like, I kind of just like was thinking about it. I was like, there's so many avenues, you know?
Let me get you started. Future of games, I guess. What do you foresee kind of games coming to Stadia and the technologies that they would use? What do you think?
Well, I 100% believe that VR through Stadia is going to be a thing. I believe that it's, first off, having Stadia as a platform created already and established, basically it's a computer in the
Yeah.
cloud. So all that means is that you just need a screen on your eyeballs, and you can have the crazy, most powerful computer graphics GPU processing on your face.
Yeah, that's insane. And actually, I have a lot to say on the VR aspect, but I kind of want to save that for a little bit in a second here. We'll talk about that. But mainly, I'm trying to think in games, because we'll talk about games first, and then we'll go into the actual hardware possibilities. So gaming, like this actual software gaming wise, what possibilities do you see Stadia fulfilling that we don't see necessarily today?
Like, give me an example.
Like for me,
and I'll follow up.
Like for me, and they even talked about it and advertised it, is being able to sit here and be playing a game and be like stuck on a level and needing another player and shooting you over something that looks like a YouTube link, and you click it and boom, you're right there next to me, kind of things.
Oh, I
Since everything's all
forgot
connected.
about that.
Yo, that
Gosh, man, where are all these features? That's what they sold us. I remember that on the keynote.
Yep,
And then it's just, yeah, they haven't brought it up since.
like that.
That's a
That would
shame.
be insane. I would love.
What about watching a trailer to a game and you're like, oh my gosh, let me try this right now?
Like some of the things that they
Boom.
made us dream about, I want to see become a reality. And we're starting to, like, in the latest APK for Android of the Stadia app, they're bringing YouTube streaming finally. So we'll be able to stream in YouTube. There were some hints at wireless controller stuff. So it's coming. It's just taking a long time.
Yeah,
and some
they're being smart. They're being smart.
And something else that I would love to see that games could implement, since it's all connected and in a state in the Stadia cloud, I would love to be able to be playing a game and send that link to like my dad, who maybe doesn't have the game, but he can use my copy at the same time as me and join in exactly where I'm at. And as long as I'm playing the game, he can play with me. And then when I leave the game, he no longer has it. Like, I think that would be incredible, and I think that would, if developers allowed that.
No, they're gonna make you buy it. They're gonna make you buy it. There's no way.
But the thing is, if developers allowed that, and my dad, for example, I sent him the link and he tried it and he liked it, and I left, and then it closes his game and it says, "Thank you for joining Sonata session.
Purchase the game if you want to play by
for
yourself."
real." Like, it got him hooked, and then it shuts him out, and he's like, I need this.
There you go, Google.
I know. Come on, guys. Let's do this. Let's think this right. But yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. Like, in terms of like gaming, like what software things would you dream up for Stadia that maybe don't exist yet?
Yeah, I mean, all those things you mentioned so far, I think it would be great to just be able to send a link, like you said. I think it would be great if you could join your favorite streamer.
Yep, that's coming.
Which they mentioned.
They did mention that too.
That would be really awesome. But even just like
You guys could join
watching
me,
a trailer, like
watching live.
Silent Sonata
with my 2 views that I get live streaming. Join me in my little local multiplayer game. Anyway, sorry. Go.
I don't know. Well, honestly, I'm just really excited for all the games to come out. I'm really excited for everyone to pick it up. Actually start using it more. I'm excited for iOS to be available soon, because it's not. That's something that's going to be coming down the road. But I'm also, like I said, I'm more so excited about the VR experience.
Yeah, let's talk about hardware. Let's talk about hardware. Hardware applications for Stadia, or potential ways that Google can use Stadia technology. And let's first just start with VR, okay? And then we'll get into how Google can apply Stadia's technology to everyday living. So let's just start with VR and just stick with gaming for now, and then we'll move on to that.
So I mean, I think it's growing more popular now that people know that Google owns Magic Leap, right? Like, at least everybody, I think mostly everybody who is aware of anything tech related knows that.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of time where those two technologies kind of join forces, in my opinion. And I really think that Google and Apple, they're kind of they're waiting. They're playing this whole waiting game, because Apple hasn't released their headwear.
No.
I know Facebook's been doing a good job with Oculus.
Yeah, the Quest, which I have, and it's incredible, absolutely incredible.
They're doing a really good job on all that, and they're kind of the frontier. But I really do think that Google, I'm telling you, man, they're just gonna flip a switch. The next thing you know, they're gonna be the best headwear gaming, computing, maybe even computing in the cloud.
Yeah.
Like everything in the cloud is just going to be Google's just going to own
I
everything.
mean, just think about it, because like I have the Quest. You tried the Quest out.
Beautiful. Yeah.
It's great. Everything is like wireless. It's all connected in the headset. There's no cables running to any computational device. The only downside is it's heavy because all that
And it's
processing.
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's huge, and it has this huge battery to run all this hardware that's in there. If you're taking all the hardware out and putting it where Stadia is, right? Stadia can stream in and pretty much an unlimited source of quality, right? And because of that device, the physical one on your head is not processing the actual data anymore, the actual generation and like game rendering, you can literally have a very small battery and just two displays that connect to the internet, and that is it. That thing will get small.
Yeah.
It'll be light. You'll be able to use it anywhere.
Dude, Facebook isn't they're announcing their like pair of glasses,
Yeah.
you know, where it looks just like a pair of glasses, and I think Google's going to do the same thing. I think where Google is going to succeed over other, like including Xbox and PlayStation, because you know they have to do cloud computing now. Like that's just a matter of fact. Like they just have to. The difference is that Google has been established in that end for how many years with YouTube now that they own them? You know, like
that's true. It's been
like
a
their
couple now.
servers have been around for a while. They've really streamlined the amount of video processing needed in the cloud. Like they've really. I don't really see many people being able to compete.
No, I don't either. And even think about this. Wow, I just lost all train of thought. Isn't that amazing? It just went boop out the window.
You're just staring at my mouth while I'm talking, and then you're just like,
Oh my goodness. Oh no.
one for the blooper reel.
Oh,
All right.
we'll just let it. You know, this people are probably listening to on the way home from work or whatever it is, and they're like, "These two
They're
fools!
like, who are these losers? Yeah,
These two fools! They can't even think straight."
muting themselves while they're talking.
Yeah, it's like gone. It's like gone. It was something about Facebook that I thought about, and like it's
Well,
gone.
let's talk about Stadia.
Yes, we're here to talk about Stadia, not Facebook. Right? Oh my gosh. Wow, it is like on 100%. I lost all track of the
What's your
all
notes
train
say?
of thought. Nothing. I was like, oh, this is off script too.
All I see at the bottom is like, subscribe, and bell.
No, that's not this part yet. That's later. But you can also
Okay.
like and subscribe during the video if you like what you're hearing.
And click the bell.
Click the bell,
please.
yes, because I do not want to get text messages or things on my Discord saying, I never know when you're live or when you post a new video. Not my fault.
Yeah.
That's yours. So back to...
You're supposed to be nice to your followers.
I just say what comes out, you know? I speak truth. No. But
All right,
diving...
let's get back.
Oh,
Let's
I know
get
what
back.
it was. I know what it was.
Okay.
VR. So like streaming from Google's cloud server, right? And like you said, being able to do it pretty much anywhere. This ties in another big technological kind of feat that we are accomplishing this year: 5G. 5G is going to bring.
You think that's this year?
I think we're going to start seeing it a lot this year. I think we are. By the end of the year,
Aren't
maybe
we still scared of 5G? Aren't we scared it's going to kill us? Like,
you know, I think think about what's going around. That virus going around right now, and I don't want to say it because
yeah, I would much rather have microwave 5G technology blasting me and radiating my organs.
I mean, Wi-Fi is already doing it. Why not add another Wi-Fi? I mean, and these things, AirPods, you know,
You're true. I've been hearing too.
it's just blasting waves through your head.
Radiation and yeah. Okay.
But like, if 5G really does fulfill the promise that it has, right? Stadia, you're not limited to just playing on Wi-Fi anymore. You could play literally anywhere.
Yeah, on your
network, on your phone, in a VR
is
headset.
true.
If they do that,
crazy.
you know, being able to just grab and go, you know. So switching slightly, still talking about Stadia and Google, but what ways do you think Google may try to apply Stadia's technology to like everyday things, whether powering AR headsets or
What? I feel like that's there. I feel like I really feel deep down that Stadia is the precursor to future computers.
dive into that. What does that mean to you?
Like having hardware is a thing of the past, man. Like I really feel like once there's, like you said, we're gonna have newer and better ways of connecting to the network, and when we're on that network, we're gonna have access to more and more powerful machines in the cloud.
Yeah.
And that's just I'm in video, so that's exciting, you know. But I don't know how far down the future, but it's a fact. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
And something that I've seen, at least in other competitors that I actually want to talk about here in a moment, like GeForce Now. I don't know if you've heard too much about them, but that's pretty much what they're doing. They're putting a PC in the cloud,
Yep.
and you're connecting to it.
I did hear about that.
So I think as an audio guy and a video guy and a programming guy, pretty much anything multimedia is what I'm fascinated in. A powerful computer is something I need all the time, and being able to remote into something that is beyond what I could ever afford, right? If I could pay a small monthly fee for it to Google to use a mega machine, I'm going to do it.
I don't know how to help with that. Here are other things you can
So Google knows.
All right. On
Google
that note,
knows that we're really.
she said she can't help. She can't help you with that, bro.
So maybe not. It may not be in Google's cards at this point in time, but we can have.
Nope, she can't. No, she said it right there. That came. Look, we are not making this up. We are not speaking for Google. Google spoke on their behalf.
Yeah, Google, by the way, is not listening to your conversations at all. Okay.
Was that
Oh
sarcasm?
yeah, complete sarcasm. We just,
Okay, I
we
wasn't
just
sure.
heard
I
it.
wasn't
It just
sure. Yeah, I was about to
chimed
say.
in on our conversation. What in the world?
Yeah.
But
Say her name once. Oh my gosh,
you're in
crazy.
trouble. But let's talk about the competition. Is competition for Stadia good or bad? What do you think?
I think competition in general is great because it pushes innovation in general. I mean, proof is in the pudding. Like this technology has been around for a minute, and the top three competitors in the gaming market, like console wise, they really haven't been innovating besides adding slightly better graphics and slightly better things. And it wasn't until Google's their keynote where all of a sudden now they're like talking about cloud computing. They're talking about like, I mean, they attempted it in the past, but I felt like they were just prolonged it more because the community was just comfortable.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you been able to try out any of the competition or see performances of any of them, like xCloud?
Not yet. I've seen some YouTube videos of people talking about it, but then again, like I can't. I have to see it firsthand. Like just like with Stadia, I'm not gonna watch a video of someone ranting at whether or not they like it, like we are.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were able to try xCloud since you have an Xbox. Like I don't have an Xbox, so I know I can't get in that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But I was able to try out.
I heard, isn't it like 720? Caps out at like 720?
I think it's something like that, and it's literally an Xbox in the cloud. Like you get the same graphics that an Xbox can currently handle, and it's just in the cloud. Or you can actually stream your own console. I think
you need to stream your own console, right?
No, I think it's both, either one, as far as I know. But I don't know. Maybe you should try getting access to that, see what it is.
Yeah, all I remember is that I remember reading a headline of them partnering. Is that wrong?
With
like Sony
partnering with Microsoft. Yep.
That was after the announcement of
it was like a couple
Stadia.
weeks after Stadia was announced.
I mean, come on, like if that doesn't say anything right
that they're
there,
scared.
like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, bro, what?
I did, however, get to try out NVIDIA's GeForce Now. And mess around with it because now I have GeForce Now and Stadia, so I got to compare them a little bit. And a couple things that people have been loving. If you look up the GeForce Now review on YouTube, they're all positive, okay? And here on this talk show, we are bluntly honest, if you haven't figured that out. And I'm going to be bluntly honest about my experience on it. I would love to be able to play PC games in the cloud. That would be amazing, absolutely incredible. And that's what GeForce Now promises, is all your games that you already own on your PC, you can play anywhere, wherever you want. And so the promise was there, and that's what everyone's raving about, but they're failing to miss just the details of it. For example, when you get on in Stadia, you open up the phone app or you open up your Chromecast, you click the game you want, and you're in. Nothing else, right? On GeForce Now, you get on there, and there's a queue. Depending on if their servers, all their nodes are full, because they have physical PCs. If all the PCs are in use, you have to wait until one of them's free. So you can sit there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, up to an hour, who knows, however long, depending on how many people are playing and how long they want to play.
Look, that jumps back to my last point. Like, I just don't think anyone has the capacity to compete.
Yeah.
Like they can't scale it to the size of YouTube. YouTube's huge.
Yep, that is true. Google's
servers are
architecture
huge.
Is massive.
That's what I'm saying. And like, I really don't see competition, even with Sony and Xbox. Like they like, what servers are they going to put together?
The only competition I see from Google, and actually the Amazon and the Azure service from Microsoft. Those are the only ones that I could see that could actually impact.
But the Azure service, that's what server? Like whose servers are those? It's not like IBM or
it's all Microsoft.
And you really think that's going to be good?
I don't know. I think time will tell, and we'll have to find out.
What from Microsoft has been good besides the Xbox?
Well, Microsoft has been very good at the Office workspace.
Have they? Have they?
So this guy's a Mac fan. I'm a Mac fan. Well, I'm actually a computing fan. I have Windows, Mac, and Linux. So I don't know. I can't.
I'm converting. Yeah, you're converting.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. But anyway, GeForce Now. So let's pretend that you actually get in. Okay, I got in. Here's where it was amazing. I saw all my games that I could do. I just searched the game that I had and added it, and I was like, this is great. You click play, and you see it. It opens up. It looks like a virtual window of like a PC desktop wallpaper, and then Steam will pop up, and it'll say like loading, and then I'll ask you to log in to your Steam account. Okay. So you're like, okay, maybe I'll just log in. I'll get all the games. Like, you log in. The games half the time aren't even downloaded once you log in. You log in and you have to hit download. Sure, I will say it is quick. It is pretty quick for it to download. The games that I downloaded, they didn't take long at all. But the fact that you had to download it, and I haven't even gotten to the part that made me like, no, I'll never use this again, because I won't use GeForce Now ever again until they fix some of these user features. Like, I feel like Stadia is so simple for a user to get in and play. GeForce Now, extremely complicated. Well, it's not complicated, it's just clunky. A lot of login prompts. So you finally download the game and you play. Playing is great. Once you're into the game, everything's great. You do have the ability to customize your graphics, so you can make it like completely crush the system and it's like lagging all over the place, or you can try to optimize settings, which I like about Stadia. I know people hate this, but I like not being able to control the graphics because they tuned it for it to just work perfectly every time. And I don't have to worry about launching a game and spending an hour and a half trying to get all my settings right so that like it's
like your frame rate and all.
Exactly.
That's a lot.
So that in of itself was enough to be like, I like Stadia better. But this is the part that's crazy, okay? You log out, right? You close GeForce Now and you come back maybe 5 minutes later. The chances of you getting back on that same machine, very slim. You have to go through the whole process of logging in, downloading all over again, because chances are that other machine you connected to doesn't have your account, doesn't have your downloads, doesn't have anything. So you have to do the whole thing again every time you get on.
Yeah.
Which, to me, I like the concept that they're trying to get PC games cloud streamable, but they need to work out some of that user experience stuff, because Stadia is going to definitely win in that aspect, at least for me being a
honestly
gamer.
I think Stadia's won already.
You think?
They give them the W. Yeah. And they kind of like sucked with the whole rollout. Like it sucked because I just want more games. I'm greedy. I want more. But I feel like they're doing it smart, and they're not putting it all out at once. And I think that in the slight, like, not so long future, it's just going to be everyone's talking about it. Watch out.
Yep.
My brother works at GameStop. I'm very curious to see how that's going to go in the future.
That's going to be interesting. That will be interesting.
I mean, because like that's gaming and console disappearing.
Yeah.
But, and that's
And
crazy.
I think the
Crazy to
only
think about.
and if I don't know if you saw any of the news, but GeForce is losing games quick because like publishers apparently they didn't get the right agreements for it, so publishers are pulling all their games. Like they lost a bunch of AAA games; they're just gone, just
Oh,
gone.
yeah.
Not
Yeah, that's
and,
not
like
good.
for me. I would rather prefer the way Stadia launched versus the way the GeForce launched with everything. And then all of a sudden things start disappearing. I
Yeah.
rather know that I don't have it and then get surprised to have it later versus having it and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's gone and I'm like, oh no, I can't play this anymore. You know what I'm saying? But I think competition is good, and I think out of either xCloud or GeForce Now, I think xCloud has a better shot at competing directly with Stadia because, yeah,
But I haven't really seen the competition.
No, not yet.
I have not seen anything from xCloud that looks anywhere remotely close to what Google's
yeah,
doing.
and that.
It seems like they're attempting.
Yeah. Honestly, I think they were all shocked, and they're just throwing stuff together. And these are the products that we're getting now. Like I know a lot of them
Yeah.
claim, "Oh, we've been working on this for 5 years."
They
might
might
have.
they,
They
they
might
might
have.
have it. Yeah, they might have
Doesn't
been,
look like
but
it, but
yeah.
they might have.
Hey, I would take 4K over 720p any day.
Yeah, that is true. That is very
You
true.
know,
Yeah. Unless there was an exclusive on Xbox that it wasn't on Stadia, I think that's what it's going to
Yep.
start boiling down to.
Like Halo, like you got me.
Yep.
You got me. But then again, I mean, Stadia might have some cool originals or exclusives that we just have no idea.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
And we're actually coming close to the end of our time, and I want to ask one more question just for us to talk about before we close off. And this has to do with Stadia, but sort of not really.
Yeah.
We know, me and you already discussed in this that we think Stadia is the future for gaming for sure. Whether it is right now, not yet, but in the future, yes. I think everything's going to be cloud. What do you think Sony is going to have up its sleeves? Because think about it, we got these new consoles that are going to be announced this year, right? To come out in around November, December time from both Xbox and PlayStation, Microsoft and Sony. And they're designed to last 5-6 years. That's typically the lifespan for that. What do you think these console makers are like? Do you think they'll have a shot in these 5-6 years? Or do you think that Stadia is just going to, or cloud gaming is just going to wipe them out in these 5 years?
I think they're gonna do a really good job with exclusives.
Oh yeah, that's true. That
Sony,
is true.
Sony, like with Last of Us, with
that is the thing Sony has running for them is exclusives. Not much else, but exclusives.
like Xbox to me has Halo is probably like the one that comes to mind. I really don't know of any other too many exclusives from Xbox where I'm like, I have to play personally. I'm sure there are, but Sony, Last of Us. They had a Spider-Man game that was exclusive, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They did have exclusive Spider-Man. God of War. God of War is
God of War. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I think what I can expect in the next 5 years is them to ramp that up, ramp out the production of exclusive games to convince buyers to not switch to Stadia.
Kind of like Nintendo. Nintendo's in its own little world with its own exclusives.
You will see me buy a Nintendo Switch just because of Super Smash Bros. If there's a new Super Smash Bros. On the next console for Nintendo,
Exactly.
And
I think if Sony decides to stick with this console game and not try to partner up with somebody for their cloud gaming or something to stay current with big games, right? I think they're going to start having to head in that Nintendo direction that they took all their stuff with. But yeah.
Dude, we covered some ground. That was a lot.
A lot of stuff.
That was a whole hour.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, that was a whole hour.
But yeah, thanks Dan so much for tuning in and like just chatting it up. It was a really great conversation.
This was fun. I will come back to this anytime.
Absolutely, we'll
Just hit me
definitely
up.
have you come back and talk maybe more, even with some video stuff. Just talk about. I have some ideas about conversations for video people that may need not necessarily they have tools, but they don't know how to use them well. And this guy right here phenomenal with using the tools that he has.
Oh, thanks, bro.
And just makes it look gorgeous every time. So he is definitely,
Dude,
we'll
thanks.
definitely gonna have
Check out my website, danielbowie.com.
Yes,
you
check
can
out
see
the
some of the
site.
things I'm working on.
Insane stuff.
Yeah.
And also, his handle is down below in his little description. I don't have mine because I don't
Is it under mine? Can I go
Yep,
like that?
there it is. Yep, I'm pointing right at it. At Daniel Bowie TV, and they can find you anywhere with that handle, right? Pretty much.
Yes, everywhere. Google it, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. I don't use Twitter much, but you'll see me on Instagram.
And for those who are just listening with audio, not video, it's at Daniel Bowie TV, no spaces, and that is his handle.
Dude,
but yeah,
Chris, I had so much fun.
yeah, this was amazing.
I'm not gonna lie, like this is new. This is my first time doing something like this.
Is
So
great.
thanks for having
Absolutely.
me, bro.
And we'll definitely have you back. And for all those watching on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something and just enjoyed the conversation. Don't forget again to like this video. It really does help. Subscribe and then hit that bell. We already talked about the bell here, how important that is. So don't mess that up. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Thank you again, Dan. And
thanks.
we look forward to seeing you all in our next conversation, guys. Take care. This is Sonata signing out.
Bye, guys.